Aloha e kako! Welcome back to the Ne'epapakahana Online Professional Development for our 6th grade curriculum. Let's go from Mauka to Makai. In this video, we'll be covering Unit 6, Relationships in Geometry. Here are some of the Common Core standards that will be covered in this unit. Please feel free to pause this video if you would like to read them more thoroughly. If you have a copy of our curriculum, you'll be able to find all of these standards at the very beginning of the unit. As you can see, the Unit 6 standards mostly come from the Common Core domain of geometry, as denoted by the letter G. However, there is also an emphasis on the standards in the number system and the expressions and equations domain, especially when measurements are involved. In a nutshell, these standards apply our understanding of numbers, expressions, and equations to simple geometric shapes. This includes finding the areas of triangles, special quadrilaterals, and polygons made up of triangles and rectangles. We'll also be finding the volumes of rectangular prisms. Then there's a focus on working with polygons on a coordinate plane. In particular, we'll be drawing these polygons or describing them with the coordinates of the vertices. We'll also be looking at the sides of these shapes and finding these lengths wherever they are vertical or horizontal. And then we can use these measurements to find the areas of polygons. We won't be looking at the lengths of diagonal lines because those are 8th grade standards that will be introduced with the Pythagorean theorem. Finally, in this unit, we'll be drawing and describing 3-dimensional figures and their nets. And then we'll use these nets to find their surface areas. The Unit 6 activity that we'll be reviewing in this video is the Unit 6 cumulative activity. In this activity, we'll be looking at an ili, which is equivalent to a neighborhood, and we'll learn about an invasive plant that has been introduced to this ili. The invasive plant is called an ivy gourd, and it usually spreads to different places when birds eat the plant and poop out the seeds. Ivy gourd is a vine that causes a lot of destruction in Hawaii because they grow very aggressively. Once they start growing, they'll never stop until they've covered all the plants around them and starved them from the sun and from nutrients. In our map, we see that 3 ivy gourd plants have started to grow just to the left of the ili. In part 1 of our activity, we need to determine the distance of the plants from the boundary of the ili. Please pause the video and find the distance of plant A. Welcome back. The boundary is a vertical line at x equals -30 and plant A is at the coordinate -100, 80. Since the boundary is a vertical line to the right of the plant, we can just look at the horizontal positions or x-coordinates. With these coordinates, we can see that plant A is 70 feet away from the boundary. In part 2, we'll be looking at some of these smaller areas within the ili called the kauhale. We'll be changing the sign of the x-coordinates of these plants, and then we'll ask ourselves if the new coordinate of the plant is inside of a kauhale, and if so, which one? Please pause the video and take a look at plant A, and find out where it ends up if you change the sign of its x-coordinate. Welcome back. If we change the sign of the x-coordinate, then the coordinates of plant A will be moved from -100, 80 to +100, 80. So if we start the origin and move right by 100 and up by 80, then we'll see that this point is inside of kauhale 3. In part 3, we talk about how the ivy gourd plants can easily take over each of the 3 kauhale. What is the total area of the 3 kauhale? Let's pause the video and calculate the area of just kauhale 1. Okay, so kauhale 1 is the shape of a trapezoid. For the area of a trapezoid, we need the average length of the 2 parallel sides multiplied by the height or distance between those 2 sides. The average of the parallel sides is 1/2 times the sum of 90 and 50. That comes out to be 70. Then we take that 70 and multiply by 40, which is how far apart those parallel sides are. This gives us a final answer of 2,800 square feet. If you want, you can also figure out the areas of kauhale 2 and 3 on your own. But in this video, we'll just move on to part 4. Part 4 is a pretty long problem, so we're not going to walk through it completely in this video. Instead, we'll just have a quick overview. In part 4, we talk about an ivy gourd plant completely covering a hale. First it covered the floor, then the walls, and even the roof. In this part of the activity, we'll have to calculate the total surface area of the hale. The surface of the hale is made up of smaller, simpler pieces. The front and back walls are made up of a triangle on top of a rectangle. The side walls, the roofs, and the floor are all made up of rectangles. Feel free to pause the video to spend as much time as you need to look over these diagrams. When you're ready to move on, we'll go over the final part of this activity. In the final part of this activity, we have an open-ended question. Many plants are good for the environment and good for people, but certain plants, when grown in wrong places, can cause a lot of trouble. Describe a plant in your neighborhood or school that you think is out of place. Describe why you think it might be bad for your neighborhood. Let's pause the video and think about this for about 30 seconds, and then we can wrap up this video. Okie dokie, welcome back. So some of you might be thinking of some aggressive weeds in your garden, or of some stinky fruit at your favorite hangout spot, or even a tree that tears up the sidewalk. In this activity, we also give an opportunity for students to take a picture of the plant that comes to mind and share that image with the class, but it's totally up to you if you want to incorporate that into your classroom. This activity already contains questions with a wide range of difficulty. We have simple one-dimensional distance problems in the beginning, then we go to two-dimensional areas in the Kalahale problems. And finally, we end with complex questions about the surface area of three-dimensional prisms. We hope that the variety that is available in this activity enables you to adjust its complexity according to the needs of your classroom. So please trust your instincts and feel free to skim through or stop and focus on any part of the activity. For example, if you want to focus on part 1, you can add more ivy gourd plants or ask your students for the horizontal and vertical distances between the plants. Or if you want to focus on part 4, you can ask your students to draw the net of the hale or create new hale designs with other three-dimensional shapes that they've learned. We can also turn the concepts learned in this activity into a project. For example, your students can look around the school and find invasive or otherwise troublesome plants that are causing problems to the campus. Perhaps there's a leak somewhere that causes slippery moss to grow on a step, or a weed that regularly destroys a school garden. The students could also take this opportunity to get to know the custodians and the groundkeepers that work hard to take care of the school every day. They are experts on the care of the school and probably already know where every problematic plant is on campus. After the students are able to identify the problem areas, perhaps they can even volunteer to help pull the weeds or clean up the campus. Okie dokie, that's it for this unit. See you again for Unit 7, the last unit of the 6th grade Let's Go from Mauka to Makai curriculum. Ahui ho!